welcome to an exciting week at the River House. I'm just going to stitch together all the little bit of time I have this week and won't bother trying to cram a video out of each and every day. I'm making the intro here as I drive because, you know, thanks to daylight savings time, I have very little light left. And since I was following a rock truck, which is slowly making its way up to 45 miles an hour, I just had some free time here. So the goal of this week is just kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. We're just gonna blast and blast and blast and try to knock as much of that rock loose as long as the weather is looking good, because I can dig and move rock with the machinery when the weather's a little crappier. Danny went to Missoula and she went to pick up powder, and for the second or third time in a row they haven't had much available, and she's ended up with the same, I don't know, keyboard warrior maybe. I've always told my wife to be a little vague about why, because reasons, and she refuses, so she just tells him. Anyways, he gave her a lecture about even if it was legal, it's too dangerous, blah 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 blah. I was like, thanks dude, it's America and I do what I want. Anyways, I got 2 cans, and then this safety warrior tells my wife that what I really should be using is smokeless. Yeah, no. So she didn't know any better, so she bought smokeless for 1.5 times the price. Hopefully we'll return all that, but if not, I got enough in the cupboards to not quite finish, but get really close. And if I have to, I'll just have it shipped bulk to the house, and that'll be that. But with luck, they'll get some more powder in. I found out I can call and reserve it, and see, the last time the guy didn't want to sell it to her because it wouldn't be fair to the next customer. I was like, dude, I am this customer and my money is just as green, so give me my boom. This time he said they only had 3 and he'd sell her 2. When she went to the manager, he went back and looked for the 3rd one, but they couldn't find a 3rd one, so I ended up with 2. That's 8 holes, 12 holes, something like that. So anyways, we're gonna get after it today, just rambling because I do have some spare time. But yeah, welcome eventually to the River House. Somebody just shot something. So the new Makita drills arrived, and we're going to find out if that the performance of the beast, right, the one that went 50 holes and snapped off at the shank, was still cutting. Hopefully that's not a fluke. If it's not a fluke, then these 2 plus all them Swiss cheese DeWalt ones that are coming as replacements probably be enough to see me through to the end of this phase. Anyways, DeWalt did contact me back finally this afternoon. I haven't actually checked the message yet due to a combination of lack of time, crippling social anxiety, and I just don't really care that much right now. So we'll find out what they said, and I'll get it posted, and at some point I'll share the video I made for DeWalt, because yeah, you might get a kick out of it. But let's get this all set up desperately before I lose all my light. And dang it, I forgot to bring powder. I knew I was forgetting something. And we'll get this going. No wind, so I have to run the dust shoe today because, you know, I want to meet I want to meet my great-grandkids if possible. So that's going to slow us down slightly. However, like I already mentioned, the new Makita's arrived. I'm not going to mess around with any of my resharpened bits. I'm going straight to the new ones. And I'm just going to power on just to get as many holes in as possible. You know, messing around with the resharpened stuff, that's something I can do when time isn't quite as precious. Of course, if I'd remember to get the stuff and not hike all the way down and hike all the way back, I'd have more of that precious commodity. Look at that sunset though, huh? This place probably gets less than 15 minutes of direct sunlight right now. Pretty soon we'll only get the refracted stuff. But hey, luckily it's not Mars, so that happens. We have a surprise guest. Have an appearance of Mickey Mouse here. When I think back to all the time and energy I put into trying to plug every single hole in this place, the idea that pack rats can still just get in and out is somewhat irritating, but I'm not sure it's possible to mouse-proof a place. So I'm going to get our guest of honor and bring him to the banquet hall, which is the stump on the hill, so that he can be the banquet, and then I'm going to get back to work. At least he's gone. That's my father's rat trap designs. What you can't see is underneath the head are some drywall screws so that he can't get out. Though I don't know that this guy ever felt a thing. Four holes. We didn't get much. We didn't get much at all. I mean, I don't see hardly anything down in here. It broke up in there, but it didn't break down in here. I should have used more brute force. If there had been 6 holes right in there, I'd have broken it. Or another hole out in there, I'd have broken it. Well, so let's do 6 across here. We know this is already pretty shattered, so I can scatter. I can scatter the holes farther apart. So one there, one there, one there, there. And we'll try rolling all of this up. That's too far down. We'll go up here. We'll go along that line right there, with the understanding that I might be burning myself in this pocket. But I can always come back and shoot 2 more right in the middle of it. And who knows, sometimes I notice on the video that I can see more move. There we go, more move than I expected. So with luck, this is one of those cases. I don't think I'm going to show you the drilling. I'm just going to drill. 7. It's the most I can possibly pop at once. Oh boy, one of those was big. Okay, I'm sure that one was big enough to impress the neighbors. Don't know why it sounded the way it did, but it had a nice delay shot. We've broken all of this now, but you can see it spit a lot of the powder unburned out of that hole, which means one of those two connected underground. And I could hear something hissing when it was done, so there was a whole bunch of powder that was just loose and burning. I'd say this corner is broken off for sure. I had them spaced close because I'm just trying to brute force it out of here. I think maybe they were too close. But you notice that nothing happened, but where it had that hole it could back into, we had that pop up. Well, shoot. I think that's it for tonight. We're after 8 now. And I still need to make up all these cables I burned through. So I'll go down and do that after I pick up. That is not a lot of work. I got 2 shots. I got those there and those there. $11 holes. 11 holes. But 11 holes is still better than no holes, and I would say that this was a fine evening, even if I didn't get all that I wanted done. On these afternoon runs, I rarely get more than two detonations. So I got 2 detonations. But 2 more will take me down here, and we'll have all this broken, and then 2 more over there, and it'll be a while, but it's closer. And we got some cool echoes. With luck, they showed up on the camera, because that one bounced around. Night number 2. This is 4 holes in a square. Did you see that arc outside? I didn't like that. I wonder what that was. Damn things. It's these crimp splices. The wires are snapping off at the end. There's a freaking hole full of powder over there, full of compound, and it didn't get set off. Once again, it won't cause me any problems because the rock is full of moisture, but it pisses me off. So I did 4 in a cube, just trying to break this up and get space. I like the fact that I can see cracks all the way down to here now. You know, that doesn't necessarily mean that it broke free, but so we've got these big planes that dive down on these slopes, so we're going to the side and down, and then we've got these vertical planes that are bisecting it, and this is really cranky because it doesn't want to punch through the vertical planes. All right, I think I'm going to put 4 right in here, and I'll break that, and then do it again. If I do 4 and 4, I probably will have a tough time to. But I wanted to weld on the bucket of the machine tonight too. Well, we'll see what I do. Whatever it takes, right? Just 4 again. I might have to bring the neighbors some beer or something. No idea why they're so loud. They've never been loud like this before. I think it's that hard dang rock. So, not a super successful night. But I got it pulverized all the way up into here. With luck, it loosened some of that. Though I don't think it did. It's 8 o'clock. I'm going to go down and weld. Once again, I'm not a welder. I'm a history teacher, but it's together. It's a little booger weldery, but I got deep chamfered penetration and no slag inclusions, so it's got to be stronger than it was, having bridged that gap, and we'll just have to keep an eye on it. So, what time is it? 9 o'clock. Alright, well, I'm tired, the batteries are almost dead. There is one more thing I wanted to fix. So whoever put this together beat that pin in and peened in this hole for the zert fitting so that you couldn't actually clip a nozzle on it. So I've tried to dish it out without nicking the zert fitting, at least too bad. There'd be no way for me to get it out of there with a wrench, because they must have beat the hell out of this. It appears to be peened all the way over. There's no room alongside the flats. So I'm not sure how to get it out of there, and it doesn't appear to be one of those zert fittings where I can remove the little tit and put in a new one. So I'm not quite sure yet how to handle that. I do not believe I've got it big enough for my grease gun, but I am going to go back and get it, and if it's not big enough, and I'll try to carefully dish it out even more. It's a tapered hole because of how they hammered it. I think if I can dish the sides down far enough, I will be able to get a grease gun on it. But if I hit these sealing surfaces, I won't be able to pump any grease. So we'll go see what that does, because nothing I like more than doing that on a school night. Alright, I am done. It's about 10:30. I managed to carve that out, get a zert fitting in it, and it wouldn't take any grease. So I cleaned out the hole and I held a propane torch to it, and then I rocked this back and forth with a hammer, and then all of a sudden, boom, off we went. So at least this side of the pin now has grease. The other side still needs work, but that one hasn't had grease since before I owned it, so I'm a happy boy. It's amazingly quiet out here. The moon is awesome. Mars is twinkling right over there. It's just come up over the top of the hill. Oh. Tomorrow is another day. A new night, a new explosion. Let's hope it doesn't take out the camera. I suspect that the funny series of delays we got is from the sheer amount of cordage I have in order to trigger it. Normally I trigger it by opening and closing the big switch. But if I do that, I lose the lights. So now I'm triggering it by running an extension cord out and running an extension cord back in. And I believe the current loss is causing it. I hate the fact that they've been loud. Loud, or smoke, or flying rocks, all means that it didn't do what it was supposed to do, which is to break rock. So here's hoping this is a deep, low thump. So my idea of a grid of 6 accomplished near nothing. I mean, it's possible it broke stuff loose down in there, but I don't think so. I think they're simply acting like cannons. I can't keep doing this. Not only is it wasteful, but that explosion echoing up and down the valley at 10 or 12 times the normal volume, it's going to piss people off. So I can't blow uphill, I can't lift in the middle, and the rocks don't want to roll sideways. Alright, this is 3. It's the last 3 of the night. I'm giving up on it. Dad's coming tomorrow, and I'm gonna beat the literal hell out of the fixes on the excavator, so I need to go tinker with that a bit more and make up a bunch of blast chords. And it's 3 because I'm just tired of these big booming smashes that accomplish nothing. So it's right near the edge. It's in rock I think is already kind of loose. In many ways it's a waste, but it'll be bung up. I can scrape it and we'll move on to the next bit. Here we go. Alright, not as much success today. So it turns out the zert fitting in the center of that has been broken off. And whoever did it, God, I'm tired. Turns out the zert fitting in the center of that is broken off. And whoever did it managed to somehow drill it out off center. I don't know how that's possible. I mean, it's a zert fitting, so the hole goes in the middle of it. I don't know. You got me. So I managed to drill it out off center. I had an easy out here, and I tried to easy out, but it didn't work. So, you know, I just don't have that much time. So what I did is, this is egged out, some at least. Well, a lot, probably 1/8 of an inch or 3/16. So I just pumped that crack full of grease and put the top back on it, and it'll be good enough for right now. It's better than it was a bit ago. You know, we got one zert to take that wasn't taking since the time I bought the thing. So this side, at least, is now taking some grease. Improvement. Baby steps, so to speak. But we'll find out if my repairs hold. If they don't hold, I'll have to, I don't know. Dad's going to bring me his old buzz box welder. You know, it's an old DC rectified, and he's bringing me all of his 120 psi rod. I'll probably have to put it in the oven, you know, and cook it, because it's pretty old, but that'd be the better stuff. Although I did notice, once inspecting it, that it's cracking through there, and it's cracking there, and it's cracking there. But there's just, you know, I got to stop somewhere. I got it all greased. I got it all greased except for that one and that one, which I couldn't reach. You know, that barely moves, so it was greased more than recent enough. But that one moves a lot, right? So I'll have to fold this up, and it'd be nice to have a light on someday. I'll have to fold that up and get it. But you know, I got the main pivot points. I greased the slew. Whole thing is greased. We modified the rollers. You know, that one, the oil seals had failed and it had gone bone dry, and it was really moaning. And you know, Dad insisted we take it apart. And even with the very limited tools we had here, we were able to get the plugs out of it and screw in some zert fittings. I think the plugs are metric and the zerts were American, but we had us a intercontinental mending of the minds there. So those are now both grease rollers. And while it took a fair bit, because the seals were gone in this and it was dry, and the seals were gone in this and it was drying. So those are both now grease rollers. Don't know how long, you know, they'll last greased. I expect they'll be just fine. And the front one on the other side is a grease roller now. But yeah, I mean, we're as good to go as we can be. I got an amazing moon coming up over the top of the mountain. I got rid of one of the snowmobiles. I hope to get rid of the other two soon. Certainly the Arctic Cat here in the next few days. And I don't know, maybe convert the other one over to one of those Harbor Freight Predator motors that you see folks putting in everything. That'd be a fun video. If Shay had any interest in machinery, it'd be a great project for he and I to do together, and then he could have a snowmobile, a snow tractor, really, I think, at that point, because it wouldn't be very fast. But that's just not where his interests lie. So he's just not fascinated by machinery the way I am. Anyways, it is 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock on another school night. So another 14-hour day, and I'm done, and I'm going to bed. Dad will be here tomorrow afternoon, spend the night. He's bringing the cat, and we're gonna grade. We'll move dirt in the morning, move that rock. We'll find out if I break this thing. We'll find out if my welds hold. But we'll move that rock that I broke up. I know I'll have to clean that shelf off, but that's life. That's all the farther I got. And so we'll move that rock, and he's going to bring the cat, and then hopefully in the afternoon when this ground is thawed out, he'll be able to grade and smooth stuff out a little bit for the winter time, because I don't know how much more we're going to have before the construction season's over. But yeah, look at that. I guess I'm over greasing it a bunch if I had to scrape all of that off in order to grease it. But I'd rather over than under. Over grease makes a mess. Under grease makes a bill. Right? See you tomorrow. Okay, this is 3. It's right on the edge. It's in rock that I think is already loose, but I just can't keep launching stuff into the stratosphere. That's probably not the best description. I'll come up with a new one.